what you should do is, wherever you are, whatever you are doing, you should excel in that. Excel mane best hawata. So that, and that is up to you. It's not up to the university. Got it? Dr. Gaurav Gobindo, we have met before. We have been colleagues in North South University. Dr. Ishrat Hussain, thank you for having me. Dr. Farooq Muhammad Masood, thank you very much. Dr. Riad Mahmud, thank you very much. Now, as far as a career is concerned, of course, yes, I'm an entrepreneur, and I was told to stand in one place. Okay, fine, sorry, I should not move. Well, Dr. Riad Mahmud has defined the definition of the term entrepreneur. But, before coming to this program, I was contemplating last night what should be the format of how I should speak. And I decided that I will not use any slides. Okay? Many a times we use slides, I'm just checking on my time. But then I decided I will not use any slides. I will also try to make it at least 10% interactive. Otherwise, where's the fun in it? Okay? So I will keep on speaking, fine, 90% of the time, because that's why you have brought me here. Now, entrepreneur, because nowadays it's a very common term. How many of you actually want to become an entrepreneur? Can I see a show of hands here? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, 9, 10, around 10 people. I think it would be around 15 to 18% of you who wants to be an entrepreneur. Fine, okay. Now, any of you, just one, raise your hand and tell me why you want to be an entrepreneur. I saw 10 hands at least. Any of you? Because you have decided already. Yes, go ahead. Right? You raise your hand? No? Huh? Go ahead. At the very end, the lady at the very end, yes, with the mask. It's better than a job. Why is it better than a job?
In terms of security.
In terms of security, it's more secure, you say? Okay. How do you define security? Money?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, that's where I was getting at. You see, if I had asked most of you who wants to be an entrepreneur, you would say because there's more money in it. All right. Let me give you a fact. And I'm not trying to discourage you or anything, but it's a fact. A fact is a fact. And that is, of all new businesses that are created, only 1.5% of them survive. You see, I'm not saying they do well. I'm saying they survive. Survival, as you know, doesn't mean doing well. There's a term in business, it's called land of the living dead. Land of the living dead. That means you are alive, but you are dead. That means in a business, yes, you are surviving day to day, getting along, this and that, working 26 hours a day in a 24-hour daytime, but then you are thinking, where is the money? Okay, now let me ask you this. You will tell me, okay, hold on. You are telling us only 1.5% of the people of the businesses survive? Well, we see all these great businesses and all these great people with all their great big money. So how come you are saying 1.5% survive and 98.5% do not survive? You know why? Because nobody remembers a failure. You know the names of what and who you know the names of Microsoft and Bill Gates and Tesla and Square Group and Pran RFL and this and that. Oh, they are great. Of course they are great. Why do you remember their names? Because they are successful. The 98.5% of them, they failed. They shut down. That is why you don't remember their names. Now, that is a fact of life. So, many of us think that I want to be an entrepreneur because, as my friend, the lady over there said, there is security. She equated security to money. Security is a different issue. I'll define security in a moment, a bit later, because you brought the term up. But, you see, we think person X became an entrepreneur and made a lot of money. That's why I want to become an entrepreneur. So let's look at the journey of an entrepreneur or an entrepreneurial venture. As I said, 98.5% of the businesses shut down. I did not talk about success. Of those 1.5%, you will see the grocery store or mudid dokan in front of your house. It is still surviving, right? You are buying. But is the guy really rich? Is the guy does he have the amount of wealth that you are dreaming of? Not really. That is part of that 1.5%. Does this mean that we should walk away from this room today saying the game is lost? Not necessarily. Many of us get into business or start a business, or so as to say, become an entrepreneur for the wrong reasons. In the very beginning, we think money, and we don't think anything else. The first thing that one needs to think about is, if I want to become an entrepreneur, what should be my business model? By this time, because you are all business school students, you have heard of the term business model. I will elaborate on what a business model is. A business model in very plain and simple English is a model through which actually you make money. How you make money? Making money is not easy. How do you make money? Do you know why or how? If you want to make money, now that I have some financial stability, I want to go into the restaurant, but my health doesn't permit and my time doesn't permit. That's the big challenge. Anyway, so I'm looking at these 3 or 4 nice restaurants and I said, oh, hold on. In the middle of nowhere, this road, how come there are so many nice restaurants? What's going on here? What's going on here? Then I had somebody next to my car seat. He said, oh, there's BRAC University. Meaning what? That restaurant would not have survived if there was no BRAC University there. What is the business model then of the entrepreneur who has established that nice looking cafe or restaurant? It is that he has calculated, or she has calculated. When I say he, I also mean she. Okay? Let's just get that straight. You see, that person has done his calculation. How many thousands of students? And he has done his calculation. Okay, studying in a private university, not really poor. So these people can afford to have a burger or a bowl of noodles, but their parents will not necessarily encourage them to go to the little Bhatar hotel across the footpath. So that restaurant has to be a little bit nicer with an air condition. By the way, that's Badda Road. Nobody else goes to such nice restaurants in the middle of the day. Who goes to nicer restaurants in the middle of the day? Who? In the commercial places, right? Motichil, Gulshan, Bonani, here, there, where there are nicer offices, where during lunchtime people will go to meetings or have their lunch. Why? Because they are earning people. They have their salary or their, fixed earnings. That is not a place where you have got great, big commercial houses. No. The business model is that it's BRAC University. X number of thousands of students from 12 to 2:30 will come out to eat. There is nothing else there. They have to come there. And hence, those 3 or 4 restaurants will survive, and not just any restaurant you open up next to your para. You will say, oh, hold on a second. That restaurant next to BRAC University, it's selling burgers for 220 taka. I will open up a restaurant next to my house selling burgers for 210 taka. Why won't it survive? The question that you have to ask yourself when you are thinking of an idea is how that business will make money. I gave the example of a restaurant. You will say, now hold on. A restaurant, it is an old idea. I want to create a software like Bill Gates, or I want to create such a device which will do this and that, like, I don't know, like Apple or something. Another fact of life for entrepreneurship: there are hardly any new ideas under the sun. I did not say there aren't any new ideas under the sun. I said hardly. Once in a while, a groundbreaking idea will come. Are you that person? If you are thinking you are that person, in 10 years or 5 years, 2 persons throughout the entire world, you are that person, and you want to think you are that entrepreneur, my friend, you should forget about entrepreneurship. You know why? I tell you why. My respected colleague said that most entrepreneurs, you mentioned names, Bill Gates, Larry Ellison of Oracle, Michael Dell of Dell Computers, they are university dropouts. If that is the case and you think that is the path I should follow, then all of you should drop out of university. Without dropping out of university, you cannot be a Bill Gates. That will be what we call a suicidal decision. Bangla and Pran and Bombay Sweets, all are chanachurs. Yes, business model. What this person has thought of to do different or will do different to make money. To force somebody to give him extra money out of his pocket. Profit is what? Extra money, right? So, coming back to the point, again, think about a concept. Again, I'll talk about restaurants. Right now there are quite a few mezban restaurants in Dhaka. The mezban is not a new concept. Remember I said very new ideas, very few new ideas under the sun. Mezban is an old concept. People who are living in Chittagong, they have been having it. Our Bondhu Bandhav, Attiyo Shajan, friends who come from Chittagong, they used to bring us mezban. Somebody one day decided, I will open up, I will make mezbani here and I will start selling it in Dhaka. Now there you go. They said, okay, fine. Some people will pay a higher price per kg in Dhaka for mezban cooked meat compared to Chittagong. It's that little twist. So, if you think, oh, when we were young boys, or rather youth, there was this trend of opening up garments factories in Bangladesh. Garments was just picking up. Anybody and everybody who had some money in their pocket or who could get some money out of their parents would do a garments factory. Why? Because in the beginning, when somebody first thought of stitching garments, when they offered it overseas, these overseas buyers, they paid $20 for a shirt, but the manufacturing cost was $2. They were making $18. A few of them became millionaires, and then that's how you make money. Then another person came and he said, I'm going to do the same thing, and I'm going to do the same thing, and I'm going to do the same thing. Everybody started doing the same thing. Everybody became a mama selling chanachur in front of Uttara University. If there are 10 mamas, 9 of them will die financially. Correct or not? One of them will survive, or 2 of them will survive. By the way, if there are 10 mamas, you know who will survive? Somebody who has added a little bit of twist. Maybe the taste is different. Maybe he's showing you his preparation style in such a way which shows that it's made up in a hygienic way. Maybe. Or maybe, not a good idea, but maybe he's giving you credit. Not a good idea. Maybe he's saying, Mama, you eat 7 days, after 7th day, you pay me. Maybe then you are going to him. Something different. Business model. Now, I'm saying that it is not necessary that when you start a new business, it has to be a very large manufacturing entity. It is not necessary. In fact, for most people, it is impossible. If you're going to start off, where are you going to get the money? Are your parents zamindars? In any case, we are one of the poorest country in the world. So how come all your parents or your grandparents are zamindars? Where are you going to get the money for a factory? Don't think factory it is. I have to do a manufacturing. There are other ways to start off. I will give yes. So first of all, you have to come up with a business model. You see, I asked Dr. Riad Mahmud. Oh, sorry, I'm walking away from the camera. I asked Dr. Riad Mahmud, where are your students from? He said, most of them are from Ghazipur. Maybe many of you are from Ghazipur, right? Can I see a show of hands? Oh yeah. Okay. Now, that's a business model. You see, so many private universities, if you think, oh, I'm going to get another private university license and I'm going to put it in my grammar body. I think there are 62, 64 private university licenses around in the country, right? Why is this a business model? Because, yes, there is North South University, fine. There is Dhaka University, fine. There is United University, fine. But you still have to go quite a bit of distance battling traffic. So for many of you and your parents, it's just, not too far away. It's still a private university degree that you're getting. Number one. Number two is, think about Ghazipur. I know about Ghazipur because those of you who are in Ghazipur, Tongi, right? You know Tongi? Yes. You know about the N-Poly factory? National Polymer Factory? No? Not really. Oh, I'm sorry. Many people do. Okay, it's right next to 𝐒𝐜𝐴𝐶𝐸𝐿, pharmaceuticals. Anyway, The point is, I know Ghazipur. The people in Ghazipur are well off, which means they have the affordability to pay the fees. So the business model is what? I'm going to put up a university near Ghazipur where the people can pay the fees, and it is going to be very convenient for these people to come to that university, not battle 1.5 hours of traffic. That's a business model. Now, that's the idea. Now, ideas, of course, are something very intangible. They have to be made tangible. We live in the real world. When you are coming to the university, it may be near, but you still have to catch a transport, right? To catch a transport, you simply cannot fly. Your parents have to give you what? Money. The day your pocket is empty, actually you cannot come to the university. True or not? True. Money. Calculation. Very important in entrepreneurship. This is something that we forget to do. We get stuck in the great idea. I'm going to put up this restaurant next to Uttara University. How many students here?
12,000.
12,000. A market of 12,000 students, private university students whose family has a decent amount of money. Let's put up a restaurant here, air-conditioned ones, with, where is the space? Jaga to beshi nahi, I can't find too much space. I found a space which can accommodate 30 students at a time. Okay, let's open it. I don't have the land. Who has the land? Well, this person who owns the land, he will rent me the land. Fine, he has charged me whatever, 1 lakh taka, 2 lakh taka, 2.5 lakh. Okay, great. 12,000 people. Follow me here. Because calculation is the most unromantic part of entrepreneurship. Follow me here. So you put up a restaurant, your AC and 30 people sitting arrangement, 12,000 people. So no problem, 12,000, and you open up the restaurant and it's always full. It's always full. And you can't give people place to sit, and you're thinking, oh my God, I've hit the jackpot. At the end of the month, you see that your expenses are higher than your revenue. How? People are lining up. I can't give them seats. How can I make a loss? Well, here comes the unromantic part of calculation. Remember that guy you are paying rent? That's fixed cost. Now he knows that this is the only piece of land that he has in front of Uttara University. You can't find it. So he's charging you higher rent, and you're thinking 12,000 students, whatever he wants, I'll give you. 30 people in a sitting. Your friends come, sit, and during lunchtime, you only have 2 sets of people. Why? Because they come and sit and eat and they do golpu. And right after eating, they don't eat fast and they do their golpu. That means during lunchtime, you are having 60 people. Let's say during evening, also, you are having 60 people, 120 people. If you add everything up, you see that the revenue that you get from 120 people does not cover the cost that is being incurred. But hey, it is packed, people are lining up, people are giving you gali, you cannot give me space, and you think, great. It had happened to one of my students near North South. He invited me maybe 14-15 years ago. Sir, I've opened up a new restaurant. He knows I like to have Indian food, and so he says, it's an Indian restaurant, you come. So I go in there. it's full, AC, good food, reasonable price. He shuts it down after 8 to 9 months. I said, how come? Sir, bujlam na, loss hoy. Then I asked him, what is the rent? What is the AC monthly cost? What is the revenue per person? What is the seating capacity? 60. What is the revenue per person? Oh, okay. Now how will it match? Even though it's full. Gave me a lesson of life. So, as I said, you will say, calculation is boring. We'll do later. It may sound boring, but if you think it is boring, don't become an entrepreneur. Or I want to put it on the other side. If you want to become an entrepreneur, better do your calculator punching. Better learn to do your math. Otherwise, you will become one of those 98.5%. You will go bankrupt after 7, 8, 9, 10, X number of months or years. I'm always, okay, anyway. Right. The other characteristics of the entrepreneur is the mindset to take risk. It is a mindset. When I was graduating from UT Austin, at that time, George Bush Jr., meaning the second guy, he was then something in Texas. He wasn't the president. Of course, that was a long time. He was the governor. Yes. So he came and he gave a speech. And he said, all of you, the graduating class, the A students, the very best of us, you will go out in the world and you will do your PhDs and become professors, and one or two of you may become Nobel laureates. The very brilliant of you. Not too many of you are A students, and not too many of you will do your PhD and get become a professor. And then there are the B students. Who are the B students? He said, these are the ones who will run the world. Okay? Who will be executives and managers and run factories and this and that and so on and so forth. And then there are the C students. He says to the A students, well, A students, have you ever put yourselves in the shoes of the C students? To you, passing an exam and getting a good grade is very easy. To them, it is so hard. They are down in the trenches and studying and trying to pass and forgetting and not understanding and getting a bad grade, but still trying every other means to pass. And then he says, but once in a while, one of you will come and give us a building. Meaning in the United States, here the owners make the buildings. Over there, in public universities, a very generous person who has the means will come and he will donate a building. So, indirectly he was saying that one entrepreneur will actually come and donate a building. And there was this building called Michael Dell Business Administration Building. At that time, Michael Dell was already of Dell Computers. He was already an established man. Now, why was I saying this? I was saying this because entrepreneurship is not for everybody. There is an element of risk taking. By the way, it is not a secure life. A secure life is, yes, 80% of the people who are actually running the world, who are working in universities and run in corporate offices and this and that, etc. At the end of the month, you get a salary. That's fine. I have known people who have worked in the service sector and who were bitten by the entrepreneur bug. বাংলায় entrepreneurshipের পোকা তাকে এসে কামড়েছে, and they left their job to start a business because they made some savings. They were in a good job. And then after 1.5 years, you see, they did not have that mindset of risk taking, of stress taking of an entrepreneur. They came back into their service job as well. And by the way, there is nobody who is here to force you to become an entrepreneur. So if you don't have that mindset, and if you don't understand the risk, do not take the risk. But obviously, I'm not discouraging. There are people who have taken the risk. And life wasn't what? Easy. If I start talking about my story, and I like to tell them as war stories. These are war stories. War mane ki? Juddher kahini. 7 days will pass, and you will have to give me a bed and food and water, and I will keep on telling the stories, and I'll eat and drink, and 7 days will pass. One thing that I would like to highlight to you is that there is no substitute for hard work. Now you have heard it from your professors and your parents and everybody, and I will tell you again from a different concept. You saw in your area that friend, that boy, that boro bhai in Gazipur who suddenly became very rich. He is using an iPhone, and suddenly he has bought a little CRV or maybe even a Prado, and you are thinking, this guy, he wasn't a good student. What is he doing? He is doing some business, right? Okay, so he is doing pretty well. And what is he doing? Well, he's pretty relaxed. Diner bela, let me, just to convey it in Bengali, diner bela sir, to 11টা দিকে ওঠে, তা বন্ধু বান্ধব নিয়ে একটু রেস্টুরেন্টে খায়, তারপর কোথায় জানি যায়, তা আবার ঘোরাঘুরি করে এগেন ইন দ্য নাইট এগেন বন্ধু বান্ধব নিয়ে ঘোটে, সবাইকে KFC খাওয়ায়। স্যার, entrepreneur. After 2.5 years or less, you can't find that guy. ঠিক কি না? He is nowhere. He was doing something or the other. It is not a sustainable path of entrepreneurship. He was doing something, this or that. But that is not entrepreneurship. So, if we are thinking that it is an easy way to make money or it is an easy lifestyle, not at all. Not at all. So, one takeaway from this speech is that if you are thinking it's going to be relaxing, actually not. I'll tell you a truth. I don't like to be late in meetings. I was late. You know where I was? I was in my car outside your gate. I came here at 10 minutes to 2. And then I entered your gate at 2:20. And then I came and I sat in your reception for 5-7 minutes while the receptionist is figuring out who to call and where to take me. Why did I do that? Unfortunately, I had a Zoom meeting with Singapore starting at 1:30. I started it. I knew it would end at 2:30, 2:20. So I had to keep on continuing. And I told him, Dr. Riad Mahmud, are we a little bit flexible, Bengali time? He said, yeah, maybe, Bengali time. So at 2:15, I say, okay, this is, the meeting is still going on. I walk. I have my driver with me. I say, tell the reception this and that. Because I know the receptionist will take time. This is Bangladesh. He will call this, that, again 5, 7, 8 minutes will pass. I can still do my meeting. It's a stressful meeting. And then I'm talking here. I put my phone off. Exactly, I know something important is going on, I know. Which, after the lecture, when I get into my car, I will immediately have to call that guy. But right now, I'm here. The point is this, that it is not that I was pretty relaxed this morning and I woke up late and I have this speech at Uttara University, I had my lunch with 𝐒𝐜𝐿𝐴 and I came here and I came to Dr. Riad Mahmud's room and I had a cup of tea and biscuit and gal, golpo, ittadi, ittadi. Then now I will go back home and I will listen to some music. It's not that. So, if you are thinking this is an easy profession, it is not. I'm almost running out of time. I will just wrap up in 5 minutes. Just wanted to say that, if your business model is successful, if you are disciplined, and if you see the face of success, obviously you will measure success by the return on your investment. Bangla jeta, we will say you are making money. The first thing that you do when you are making money is, again, it is very tempting to buy a lot of luxury goods. I want to buy a boro gari. I want to buy a BMW. BMW দাম কত? এত। আমার পকেটে আছে কত? আছে তো। হয়ে যাবে। Resist the temptation and think of the future. My rule of thumb is this. Yes, of course, worldly things are enticing, important also. You want to buy this, you want to buy that. কি সুন্দর সুন্দর জিনিস। Rule of thumb is spend 5% of your disposable income on whatever you want to do. 5% of your disposable income. What is disposable income? Disposable meaning you have got nothing else to do with it. You don't have to pay rent for that money. You don't have to pay rice. You don't have to pay your children's school fees. That is disposable income. Yes, God has up to a particular time made me successful. I remember at one point in time, yes, of course, after all the hard work and etc., yes, money flow was good. And at that time, BMW had already come into Bangladesh. And as a young man, it was very enticing for me to buy a BMW. A BMW kinbo. You know what I did? I said, I'm not going to buy a BMW. I will buy a car. I'll buy a good car. Ki gadi? I'll tell you what. I bought a Pajero. এটাও তো ভালো গাড়ি। Well, ভালো গাড়ি, but it also had a purpose. I said, now that I have some money, I want to take a step for the next future. I want to buy factory land. For factory land, what do you need to do? You need to go see the land, right? Outside of Dhaka. If you are going outside of Dhaka, rasta ki? For that, you need what? A strong car. So I bought that. And with the rest of the disposable income, I bought land. Then one day an opportunity came. I will conclude with one of my business models. Of course, Poly is about plastics. Polymer, it's about plastics, doors, household, etc., etc. So one day I decided, hold on a second, this is all for the Bangladesh market. How about export? I can do garments? No. My logic said it's not a good business model for me at that time. I said, what is the next good thing? Why is Bangladesh successful? Bangladesh is successful because Bangladesh has got a lot of reasonably priced labor. We don't have oil, we don't have gas, we don't have cotton, we don't have anything. We have got labor. What is the second largest labor intensive product after garments? Footwear. So I invested in that. And after many heartbreaks and 6 or 7 years, etc., it is now the third largest. It has won 3 or 4 times the National Export Trophy and this and that and all sorts of national awards. And it is now doing Puma and Fila, and within a couple of months it is going to do Reebok. Now I'm not saying that footwear is the right business model for you. You have to think about your strength. It needs investment. It needs quite a bit of money. It needs large bank loan. Do you have the credibility for a bank who will give you a 30 crore taka bank loan? Not really. So what is the right business model for me necessarily is not a right business model for you. You have to think which one is the right business model for you at that time. Okay? So I think I have taken quite a lot of your time. I don't want to bore you anymore. I hope I've been able to communicate some ideas regarding entrepreneurship. So best of luck to you in your life. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity.
The real law from the Uttara University.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much.